What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Season 2 of Tales of a Latina, where we tell stories that identify culture and self-expression. Chris Garces is a queer Latino content creator whose fashion, lifestyle, and community-driven storytelling resonates because it's honest, it's human, and it's deeply intentional. Everyone welcome Chris Garces to Tales of a Latina.
Hello.
Yes. Hello, honey.
How are you, boo boo?
I am so good. I am so happy to be here with you. You are literally, my producer, she kept asking me, who's your favorite guest? Like, who are you most excited to interview? And I said, you. And everyone might be upset about that, but I don't care. You're from Jersey City. I'm from Hudson County. We're like from the same hood. We're Latinos. And we go hard for our community. So
I agree. Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. I'm like, if you don't know, this is a whole production here, girl. So it's beautiful.
Let them know, child.
It is a whole production.
Yes, and I'm so happy that you're able to be a part of this. I really wanted you on season 1, but we couldn't get you.
I
You was busy, but it's okay.
But you know what? Here we are.
Here we are. And we always start the show at the very beginning with baby Chris. What was baby Chris like? Tell us everything.
Ooh, I feel like...
Where did you grow up?
Born and raised in Bushwick, Brooklyn.
Okay, yeah. So you're really a New Yorker.
I'm like a New Yorker, yeah. Bushwick, Brooklyn, up until I was like about 15. Then we moved to Jersey. You know, every Latino wants to own a home and I don't want to say white picket fence, but own a home and do the whole thing.
Yeah.
And so my parents moved to Jersey when I was 15, maybe almost turning 16. But like Chris is born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, Bushwick. And I loved it. I mean, it's New Yorkers, it's Dominicans.
Yeah,
it's
I was just
all
gonna
of
say that Bushwick
the
was
bodegas
very...
across the street. Like that's kind of the culture that I grew up in. And baby Chris was I feel like it's like a little roller coaster, no? Porque like when you're a kid,
todo, yeah.
When you're a kid and like a queer kid, I didn't know what gay meant, but I knew that I was different. And so when I look at my photos as a kid, the poses, the vibe, it gave very much so like this might be a little...
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He might not be, straight, but
there's a little sugar in there.
There's some sugar. But that's beautiful. Like,
yeah.
So your family were they very accepting of that, or?
I think they oversaw a lot of that.
Yeah.
But I think also like once you go into school and the kids start bullying you and it kind of like shuts you down and you...
What's your background? Like what country? Ecuadoriano.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ecuador. But Ecuadorians know how to party and they're very open and free.
They do. It's a lot of cultura, a lot of tradición. It's a lot of, let's have fun together as like a family and support each other. But when it comes to the queer thing, at least like in the early 2000s and the 90s, I'm talking about like my parents that were born in the 60s and 50s, no? It's a little more hesitant, right? Also, what they grew up with watching on TV. My mom and dad tell me this all the time. They're like, we had no queer people that we grew up with watching. Yeah. And when you go, growing up in New York City and you see your telenovelas and Telemundo, Univision, the gays are, super dramatic and they're super flamboyant, or they're transitioning into a woman, or they're, at the therapist, like popping, so the measure was very drastic.
Because I feel like how media might have, especially early on, earlier, they used to portray being queer, being gay as something that's like, not wrong, but like, you could, these are the things that could happen. Right. It's like very scary. People get scared, and it's like they don't know that it's just a preference of who you like.
Yes.
It's not like anything crazy. It's just I like boys or I like girls.
Right. So growing up, I went from being super outgoing and social to like shutting down immediately, because when you get bullied for who you are, then what do?
Yeah.
You just like...
You shut down and you don't
I did, yeah. It took me a few years to open up again once I came out and everything.
Well, how did you open up? Like, okay, so when did you first tell your parent? Like, how did that conversation like look like? Because you had to navigate, your identity, you know, has a Latino queer, not just queer, but like you're Latino too. Like, did you always feel like you had something to say? Like, how did you even say it to your parents? Like, what was that conversation like?
Yeah, so with my padres ecuatorianos, I was raised to always think of not just you as like yourself, but think of what you do as like, what does that represent for your family?
How it's gonna
your
affect,
last name, your brothers, and then everyone else behind that, no? And so and it's a lot of pressure when you're a kid thinking of that, right?
Are you the oldest in your family?
I'm the middle child.
You're the middle child. Now,
pero my older brother is 10 years older than me. So when he moved out, I became the oldest.
Okay.
So that's where like that dynamic kind of... So with my parents, you know, Latino parents raise you to be self-sufficient, independent, outspoken, you know, speak up for yourself and others outside of the home. When you're at home, baby, if they say jump, you say how high.
Yeah.
It's very much so.
You can't speak up for yourself at home, but outside in them streets, you better do it because you would get beat up at home.
Right. And that's a crazy dynamic to grow up in because you're like how,
what do I do? What do I do?
So yeah, so with my parents, when I came out and I started like advocating for myself, I was 20 years old. But I told my mom a year earlier. I was 19 when I told my mom. Because she found something in my closet that gave away that it was given to me by a boy. Well, you know, my first boyfriend, we're not going to give any clout here, girls. Okay. But he gave me like a box of like, just like lotions and potions that he like at a store that he worked from, you know, like very that. And my mom, I hid it in the back of my closet. And you know, a chismosa Latina mom is always going to find what she wants to find when she wants to find it.
Yes. Absolutely.
So when she sent me a photo of what she found, I was like, how did you... I like hid that in the back of my... You have to really search through my closet to find what it is that she found. So when she pulls it out, she's like, I need to know. And you know, Latina moms they don't let you...
No,
when they want to know, they want to know.
I've asked my kid, like, what's going on? I want to know. Because one time he was like, you know, you just want to know. I want to know so I know how to operate with you. I don't want to, like, I want to be on the same team. So if I don't know, I can't help.
Yeah.
So that's So tell me.
Well, she asked. She kept asking, and I just had to tell her. I mean, I was on the phone with her. I was in college, and I told her it was my boyfriend who gave it to me. I'm gay, and at the time I was working a full-time job, so I was like, I have to go because I have to clock in for work. This was like 6:50 in the morning.
Wow.
On like a Saturday.
Wow. So she was up early.
Yeah.
In that closet.
Right. And she was ready. Right. She was ready, which also
she had.
Oh my God, I never thought that. Yeah, no, this woman was ready. You know, yes. Yeah.
Latino parents, what thing they gonna do? They're gonna wait. It could be the middle of the night.
Right. Absolutely. So I came out to her then, and she like, you know, prayed that I didn't tell my dad until, I don't know when, but like until she said, just wait. And I got to a point where like I couldn't wait any longer, and I came out to my dad a year later.
And what was that conversation?
Oh, like? That was rough.
That was rough.
Yeah, I got kicked out of my house, girl. I was 20 years old. I was dating my boyfriend, who I had a relationship with for 8 years, and that was a struggle. But you know, our Latino parents raised us to, o sea, no ser pendejos, right? Like you have your A, B, C, D, E, F, G plan.
Yeah.
So I knew when I came out to them, I had to have plans.
Yeah.
Like where I was gonna go if something did happen, right? So that part for me was figured out. But you know, yeah, it was one of those moments where like I am who I am, and take it or leave it.
Yeah, and you know, I feel like this is the story of like getting kicked out. It's the same story for a lot of queer kids that grow up and they're trying to figure out their identity. They're hiding it from their parents, and like the moment that they open up, it's like they're met with this.
Yeah.
You know, like I always say to myself, I'm like, if my kid was to ever say, like I always said it, if my kid was to ever be like, hey mom, this is how I am, this is who I am, I would not kick him out. I would accept him. Of course, as parents, we always want to be like, oh my God, why would you do? But because he's done some crazy stuff. I would much rather him tell me that he likes men than to tell me the stuff that he's been through. Like, you know, so it's like, I always feel like parents, we need to just accept our kids for who they are, no matter what. They're your children. They're your human. Yeah. It's not what doesn't matter what they like. They're your person. They're your human. They're going to be the ones that take care of you when you get older, when you're dying and you're sick bed. You need your kids to love you, and you need to love them no matter what. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Or even just like putting yourself in, because something that I was raised with too is like being empathetic and sympathetic and like putting yourself in other people's shoes.
Yeah, it's
right?
like, could you imagine what it's like to not, like, to have to, you know, not be true to who you are for a long time because you're scared about what your parents are going to tell you, you're going to get kicked out.
Yeah.
That's scary. So I commend you, and you've done such a great job. You've been creating content since like 2016.
Yes.
You are, to me, the content creator of all content creators, because you use your platform for what is supposed to, like, to really stand up for what's right. You're a fashionista. You're funny. You're creative. So tell us, like, how do you like schedule your, like, how did it come about? How did you become a content creator? Let's start there.
I mean, you know, I've always felt like,
because what do you have a real, like, I'm not saying that content creating isn't a real job. It's a real job.
It's not real.
Okay.
No, let me stop. I'm kidding.
No, it's not. It's real. It's
no,
just
no,
fun.
It is. Yeah.
It's actually a lot harder because you're not just clocking in and going to work and doing the job. You have to, like, literally set up the whole ambiance, and you know, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So tell us about how you got started in the content world.
So with content, 2016 is like my starting point with like YouTubers that I fell in love with. You know, I think a lot of us, like, YouTube is kind of like where we saw our first content creators that were like making it or doing something that I felt not the norm, right?
Yeah.
And then from there, I started doing YouTube videos, and I was with my ex-boyfriend at the time, and I was filming in our apartment, and, you know, just kind of like understanding a camera, like how does the camera work, and like aperture and f-spot and all this, and like lighting, and so all of that turned into on and off, right? Like, people always say with social media, be yourself. Like, what does that even mean? No, but you have to film content and put yourself on camera to understand what that even begins to mean for you, no? So that's how my journey started in 2016, and then I got off of YouTube because YouTube is a lot of fucking work. It's a lot. The editing of it, like, it's a lot.
It's too much.
It is. And I was trying to focus on my career, but then around like 2024, I mean, I was posting on Instagram still, 3 videos a week, you know, doing very aesthetic videos, you know, the clear background and and then 2024 hit. I was at work. I'm a healthcare worker full time. And I was upset with my work. Like, I was frustrated. I felt like I was screaming into a room full of people and I was not being heard, which I feel like it's worse than yelling into a room that's empty. Because there are people that are sitting there and just refuse to.
Yeah.
So I got frustrated and I just started venting about work on TikTok. And that just kind of took off in a way that I never thought.
Wow.
And it also clarified a bunch of things for me about like work, and I wasn't crazy. Like, what I was asking for was just like human decency, right? Respect.
And the bare minimum.
Literally. And so that trickled into Instagram. When the ban was happening on TikTok, it just kind of switched all my content there. And from there, as I feel like a content creator, you know, you have artists that say you have to change every few years. Like, you have to, like, I forget what the word is, but like you
have to reinvent.
Evolve and reinvent. Yes.
Evolve and reinvent yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I feel like content creators have been doing that for years, because no content creator you meet from the beginning is the same person a year later.
Yeah.
With their content.
No.
It morphs into something different.
Yeah.
You're constantly trying to find like what fits you, what fits outside, and And so that's how my content turned into what it is now, you know, which is someone that's just outspoken and talks about small businesses and talks about fashion, which is everything that I am, being a healthcare worker and all of that.
So I love that you love to, you know, showcase the small businesses in your community. How did that happen? Like, because you're from Brooklyn. So how did you start falling in love with Jersey City? Because, you know, I'm from Weehawken. I never left. I don't know anything else. Like, I mean, I know New York. I always say I'm a Jersey girl living a New York City lifestyle. Are you a New Yorker living a New Jersey lifestyle?
Yeah, I feel like I'm always, you know, I don't have an issue with someone calling me a Jersey boy.
Yeah.
At all. But in my core, I feel like I'm a New Yorker.
No,
like,
you
that
are.
That is like, that's where my sazon, my flavor, my sass comes from, is like the people that I grew up with in Brooklyn, no, and like what I was watching in TV at the time in Brooklyn too. But how I landed up in small businesses, it was just one of those things where like same thing, you know, you stumble on something. I was just voicing something that I was like talking about, and it just kind of took off that way. And I love Jersey City because it reminds me so much of Bushwick.
Yeah.
You know, the New Yorkers, like there's a day where I can walk outside and see the Puerto Ricans playing dominoes on the corner. You know, still they've been there for decades
Yeah.
in their apartment buildings. I have a bodega. I have 3 bodegas across the street from where I live. I have a Dominican restaurant a block away. Like it's just that's the culture that I chose to live in because that's what I grew up with, and that's why I love it so much.
No, Jersey City is beautiful. I want to move to Jersey City. Actually, I grew up in Weehawken, which is like not far, but it's more. It's a smaller. It's a town, and it's very like there's a sense of community, but not like a city. Like that city vibe that you get in Jersey City. You feel the culture. You feel the community. You see the different cultures colliding, and that's what I love about Jersey City. So you might have a neighbor coming very soon.
Already,
okay?
girl.
So you said that everything changed for you when you started leaning into content that felt more like you.
Yeah.
What shifted, and what did being more like Chris actually look like online? Like what? Yeah.
Something that I've always wanted is for someone, I wanted to always be who I am outside of camera, on camera. I wanted someone to meet me and feel like they were meeting the same person. I did not want it to feel like, who the fuck is this person that I'm looking at right now? You know? And that, like, how do you approach that as an individual?
Yeah.
It's hard,
Because
right?
that could also be scary to
Yeah.
open up
Mhm.
authentically on camera. Because I struggle with that too. People are like, you need to be more like this on camera. And I'm like, but on camera, I'm thinking about all the brands that I have to work with, everyone watching me. What do I say? What don't say? So
yeah, there's a fine line, right? That you teeter with of like you want to be authentic, you want to sound like yourself, you want to be yourself, but like what does that look like for you, right? And for me, I always just said like I want someone to walk up to me and say, "You're the same person I see on camera outside of that," right? That is what mattered to me. And so my content revolves around things that make me feel happy, bring me joy, and that's also representation of who I am outside. You know, like this isn't the gimmick. Like this is me walking on a normal day in New York City.
yes,
I
I love it, and I love it. Like you have no idea, because it's so important to stay true to you. Like even if you know professionalize it a little bit, like because you want to be a little bit more corporate, but you always want to stay true to you and your beliefs. And so I want to ask you something. Like, how did your audience respond when you stopped filtering yourself? Because did you ever filter yourself? Was there, because you work in healthcare, so sometimes working in an environment that you like, you have somebody that could potentially be watching you and everything you're doing. I have a friend who was a registered nurse, and she lost her license because of social media, because of stuff they found on social media. But she was posting a little risque, so OnlyFans.
You got it. Yeah.
So nothing wrong with OnlyFans.
Shout out to the OnlyFans girls.
Yeah, shout out to y'all. Y'all making money. So, what does that look like for you? How did your audience respond to when you stopped filtering yourself?
I've always felt like I've filtered myself to an extent from the beginning of my TikTok videos. Like, obviously, when I filmed my TikTok video that went viral about talking about how I felt with work, I mean, no soy pendejo. O sea, like I know that I have a full-time job and I was just venting, so I wasn't gonna use people's names. I wasn't gonna use the actual gender that they were. I wasn't gonna, there's a way that you do tell a story, but you do filter parts of it out because obviously you have to think of yourself first, right? Like, yeah, social media is fun, but at the end of the day, like, you have a job, like you have a career, and that's trickled in till now too. It's like the stories that I tell and the situations that I talk about with healthcare and my job and being outspoken politically. I mean, being outspoken politically and being queer, that's not changing for me at all.
Yeah.
That is if you meet me in person on a normal day, I'm always gonna say who I am with that.
And I feel like that's brought you to a lot of great places, being so vocal about who you are and what you identify with and your political views. You were at the White House?
I was at the...
It would look like the White House.
I did. It was a beautiful... it was at the governor's mansion.
Yes.
Which I would pronounce, but I don't know how to pronounce because it's a very heavy name.
Okay. Well, he was there.
New Jersey needs to work on their governor's mansion name.
The governor's mansion in New Jersey, he was there repping for us Latinos. I was so proud.
It was a moment for me too. I was a little shook when I got the email and I was like, y'all really be watching me? Like, at the end of the day, I mean, you understand this. Like, when you do social media, you're like, I'm just like this person just with a camera.
And,
like, you never
venting.
know.
And we're just venting half the time, just expressing ourselves. And we just never know who it's going to resonate with, who is going to give us the negative backlash and go in on us and tell us, read us to filth or whatever. And sometimes, so I want to ask you, like, how do you deal with people when they're doing their trash, when they try to trash talk you or try to tell you, like, all these negative comments and stuff? How do you deal with that? Because I just have no tolerance. Like, I will sit there all day. My whole day will go. And I'm like this on TikTok with Twitter fingers.
Yeah.
Like, how do you deal with that?
I mean, baby, when I have time, I have time.
Right. Thank you. Yes. When we have time,
when I have time, I have time. And I will throw you back. But you know what? I think a lot of it is owed to the bullies back in the day for me. It's hearing all those negative things that I was called when I was a kid and gay and queer and flamboyant, all of that. At this point, and also growing up with Latino parents who were very sarcastic with a dry sense of humor. With Latino parents, like if you trip in front of them, they will make fun of that trip for decades later.
Yes.
So growing up in that environment, on top of being bullied for just being yourself, you get a thick skin where it's like, at this point, make me cackle with a read girl. Like, if you want to read me, please read me. Like, drag me to filth, make me feel something, like, make me cackle. And the times that they do make me cackle, I'll respond back and be like, you know what? You ate that. I'm gonna give you that one. You got that. Yeah. But it affect me in like an emotional sense. It takes a lot for me to get to that point. A lot of it is just kind of like, I was going to say duck under the bridge, but it's water under the bridge.
Water under the bridge. I'm not good with the sayings either. I be having like, what was that saying again? You know which one I'm talking about.
So I'm like, yeah, it just like rolls off.
It's water under the bridge. It just rolls off. It's irrelevant, especially when it's coming from people that you don't really care about or that you don't have a personal like me. I get offended. Like if my mom tells me something, I'm gonna take it to heart because my mom. I love her and I care about what she says. She might not be right, but it hurts, right? It's your mom. But if it's somebody outside, I could care less. I mean, words hurt, but you gotta just have thick skin in this industry. But now let's talk about a little bit about fashion.
Okay.
Because you came in here wearing this ostrich feather
something
cardigan. It's navy blue. He matches me.
Yes. We're giving executive realness, like the drag queens would say. Executive realness, baby.
I'm wearing Habebe Couture. Who are you wearing?
I'm actually wearing, this is Zara's sweater, and this ostrich feather thing that I added to it this morning.
So you customized your own. Okay, that's what we do around here. We are fashionistas, stylistas, all of that good stuff. But I want to get into your style, okay? Yes. Because I feel like it's communication. Like when you wear your outfits, you're saying something. What is it that you're saying when you put on certain outfits? I feel like you always wear a nice little hat. Like what's that statement saying?
I'm a shy, quiet person outside of socials. I don't walk in, I'm like, that's not me on a normal day. So when I walk into a room, a lot of the talking that happens with me is through my clothing. This is what I want that says, hello, I'm here, how are you? And then I come out afterwards once I am comfortable and, feeling a bit more social. So my clothes is always just a statement of how I feel on the inside.
It's like a self-expression.
It is, yeah.
So how did social media change the way you dress? Or did it change the way you dress? Were you less fashionista before getting this newfound thing? Sometimes when we think we gotta now we gotta turn it up a notch. Let me get some extra threads. Did it elevate your style or you feel like you've always been like this? I mean, you're from Brooklyn. So Brooklyners have some they fashionistas out there.
No, I've always felt like this has been me before the social media growth and now, I feel like it's been pretty consistent, you know, like it might have gotten refined a little bit because obviously the older you get, you know, you make a little bit more money. So you can make mistakes with fashion, but you also have the money to recuperate from it, no?
Yeah.
So it's like what they say about your 20s. It's like your 20s, you make mistakes, but you broke. In your 30s, you make mistakes, but you got a little bit more money. So like you can recover from those mistakes quite
Yes.
quickly. So for me, it's like, you know, fashion sense wise though, I've always been loud and out there and fun and bright and eccentric in the way that I choose to express myself. I think social media just I think highlighted something that I was already doing.
Do you ever want to come out with your own line, like your own clothing line?
You know, I'm a little picky with fabrics and cost. You know, me gusta bueno, bonito y barato. Like I want something that like feels and
Oh
looks
my God,
expensive.
I feel like that's what you should, yeah.
Right.
Bueno, bonito, barato. That's,
Right.
you know, that's the standard. That's what it is for us Latinos.
Yeah.
It got to be bueno, bonito y barato.
Mm-hmm. And so to get to that point though, it's going to take a little bit of coin. Because you have to do some research, no?
Yeah.
You know?
No,
So-
you do. Yeah. I mean, but I feel like that would be something that you can, you know, like you would devour the fashion industry. And especially if you did like a hat. Like I feel like a hat is your signature.
It is.
Like
I have two things: the hat
And
and
the
the Superman curl.
the Superman curl, maybe an edge control cream.
Mhm.
Oh, stay tuned. Chris Garces coming out with a product. Okay. So I want to say, so how did you, okay, let's get into community. Let's get into Jersey City. I know we spoke about it briefly. You're from Brooklyn. How did you get a sense of belonging when you moved to Jersey City? It can be tough moving from one big city to another big city. And this, it's like, you said it's very similar, but you know, like, how did you feel like you belong? Was it through the small businesses? What was the first small business that showed you love? What was that moment that went viral for you?
I think my first taste of virality with Jersey City was me going to like the mall in Jersey City. And it was just, I had just left work. I worked from 7 to 3:30 in the afternoon. It was 4 p.m. The mall's right there by the PAF station. I wanted to go on a solo date to go watch this movie with Keke Palmer and SZA. It was like a comedy.
Oh, I love that one. Yes.
It was a take on like Next Friday or something like that. And I just happened to record it. You know, I've recorded it. Like no mic, no nothing. Because I didn't even own a mic back then. It was just me on my phone. And then I posted it. I thought it was hysterical. I loved it. It made me feel happy. And then that just kind of did its thing. And from there, you know, you learn, right? Like, okay, like what's the next thing? But in terms of like falling in love with Jersey City, it was a man.
It's always a man, child.
But not in the
Are
way
you
that
still with him?
No.
No?
But not in the way that you think. It was a breakup with a man.
Oh, you broke up with him and you was like, I'm leaving this city and I'm going to the next city and I'm leaving.
It was that. It was like I had lived in Jersey City for a while. You know, when you date someone, you know, you spend time with them and their friends and their family and you kind of forget about who you are and ta-ta-ta-ta. And then I broke up with him. And when I did, I was like, girl, I live in this apartment by myself. I live in this city that I have no one. Like, I don't know anybody. I've been here for like 3 years at this point. Like, how do I even begin? And so you just dive into it. It's like, you know, you have to like, sometimes it's scary, but you have to just dive into it and figure out what you like, what you don't like in the place that you live in. Explore it.
So what don't you like about Jersey City?
I don't like the gentrification. It
is very gentrified. I will say that.
The one thing that I will say though is the gentrification has been happening at a slower pace than most of Hudson County, aka Hoboken. It's like, it's slower.
Wait, first of all, Hoboken always been gentrified.
Yeah.
I worked in Hoboken
Same.
since I was like, when I was like 18, 19, I worked at a real estate office. That was like one of my second jobs after I had my baby.
Yes, look at you.
I love Hoboken. I always loved Hoboken, but I always felt like, okay, this is the white side of town.
Yeah,
like
that's what it felt like.
You know, if we want to do a little, you know, uppity stuff, let's go to Hoboken. But and you know, the college kids are there.
Yeah.
So, but Jersey City was always like the hood to me. Like my son's father grew up in Jersey City. Like back then, it was not what it is now.
Yes.
My mother-in-law is from Jersey City. My mother-in-law is actually from the projects of Hoboken.
Oh wow.
When it was you know,
The one
bad.
that's like by 2nd Street.
Yeah. She's from there, and it was not what it is now. Like now it's nice. Back then it was not nice. It was a little like it was dangerous to go to that area back then. But so that's the only good thing. Like it's not dangerous anymore. You're not gonna get shot up or robbed.
Sorry.
But no, yeah, and Bayonne, like that's. I feel like a lot of people from Brooklyn though do tend to move to Bayonne and Jersey City because it's right over that bridge.
Yeah, I can see that.
I had an ex-boyfriend from Brooklyn, Bushwick,
Puerto
Rican.
Did you?
Yeah.
Of course, Puerto
I
Rican.
got him tatted on my finger. He's nut job, but
wait, you got his name tatted on you?
I did. Yeah, because I wanted to prove my love. Y'all, Brooklyn
Girl, you
guys.
just say I love you. That's it.
No, he was like, you better do something real. Like he was gangster. He was like, you better get that tattoo.
And I was like, them. Like they always want the most.
No,
right?
he was a lot. But I loved him. He taught me a lot.
Okay.
I became street smart with him.
Good. Okay.
So I'm good now.
Yeah.
But it's over. But enough of that. All right, now I want to get to the fun part of the show.
Okay,
this is the quick cheese mess, the rapid fire part where you got to just answer the questions as fast as you can.
Okay.
And we're going to get into...
Can I get a sip of this before we...
yes, you have to.
Salud,
actually, salud. This is our lemon drop from Julan. Everybody, oh my God, let me just give a quick shout out to Julan. We are here filming. This is a brand new set from last season. And the drinks are good here.
They are.
All right, so the quick Cheesemint in 60. This is a style and soul edition. I feel like I wanted to do 2 editions with you because I'm going to do one with about community, but one about fashion and style. So let's go. Vintage or runway?
Ooh, vintage.
Period. Sneakers or boots?
Boots.
Comfort or confidence?
Oh.
Because, if you're comfort...
Yeah, that one's hard.
That is.
I'm going to say confidence.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to say confidence.
Because if you're confident in whatever you're wearing, you're good.
Yes.
You don't got to be comfortable.
Yeah. And sometimes confidence, your outfit could be comfortable and confident. Like this. I feel comfortable, but I feel very like, this is me.
Yeah. I always say that. I'm like, if you're comfortable in it, then you're good. Mm-hmm. Like, that comes before anything. Thrifting or statement pieces?
Oh.
I know, because you can find a statement piece at a thrift store.
Yeah. I'm going to go with thrifting.
Me too.
Yeah.
Morning creativity or late night ideas?
Morning creativity. I'm a morning person.
Yeah, I'm a morning person too. Self-expression or self-protection?
Self-expression.
Peace or passion?
Passion.
One word people misuse about you?
Ooh, misuse about me. I'd say back in the day when they didn't know my personality, when people met me because I was always so quiet, they think that I was snobby. Yeah. Yeah,
people think I'm stuck up too, and I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm like super chill. I'll I'll drink a beer with you. Like I'm chill. Yeah. But people do have that misconception. I guess because we're just
also when you dress up and
when you dress up nice. It just gives off a certain, but it's like, get to know me.
Yeah.
My outfit don't gotta intimidate you.
Right. And I think that's what it is. It's like intimidation, and then they associate it to snobby or stuck up, and you're like, nah, we're actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I had I know we're interrupting, but I had somebody tell me, a girl, I was being very nice to her, and she was like, I thought you were gonna be so mean. I was so intimidated by you. And I was like, no, girl, I am cool as a fucking...
The amount of times I've heard that too, it shocks you because you're like, what is it that I'm doing that like comes off that way?
Yeah.
You're not doing anything half the time. You're just literally standing there being yourself.
Yeah.
No? But sometimes it is your outfit, or maybe you're not smiling enough. At this point, I'm going to be like glued cheek to cheek.
Yeah, I can't smile all the time now. These Colgates, you got to pay for them. No, I'm joking. All right. So being seen or being misunderstood? I'm being seen or being understood. I'm sorry.
Being understood.
Understood. Joy right now looks like what for you?
Ooh, quality time. That's what joy looks like for me right now.
Yeah. Is that your love language?
I'm learning that, and I've never actually researched if like love languages change over the years as you get older, but I'm learning that quality time has been turning into one of the love languages that to a majority now. Yeah, I love spending time with my friends and stepping away from social media a bit, and like having moments like this, like with my friends or with my partner, with my family, where like there's no camera out and it's just me, just living life.
Yeah.
So
Now, with your newfound not identity, but like influence, that's what I meant to say, influence, do you feel a sense of responsibility as your platform grows?
um oh I don't know if I feel a sense of responsibility. I think that I just, because I talk about a lot of like current event stuff that happens in the world that affects me and the people that I love.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where the core of my content comes from.
So do you feel responsibility for that? Like to be the one, I mean, you're, I feel like what you represent is so important. Not only are you Latino, but you're also an advocate for the LGBTQ community. I feel like that alone, like being with your I know you don't want to accept the response. Like it is a lot to be it's my responsibility. But do you ever feel like that is something that you have to do, or you just do it because it's just in you?
I do it because it's in me. I don't think I label myself, or I try to stay away from labeling myself as like being the person for Jersey City or being the person for Latino immigrants or the person for anything, because one, it's a lot of pressure, but also two, I'm one of hundreds of thousands of people on socials that are talking about everything that's going on in this country, whether it's about a local business or whether it's about, current events. And so I feel for me, I just talk about what affects me and the people that I love. And it just so happens to be immigrant first generation struggles, being queer, being a healthcare worker, and also just being vulnerable sometimes about how we feel just as humans.
Yeah.
When we're struggling.
What do you feel is something creators don't talk about that they should be talking about?
Their struggle about like even just being creative.
It is not easy.
It's not easy. There are some times where you wake up and there's a week of you not wanting to do anything because like nothing is coming or sticking or feeling right. And so being vulnerable about that, like letting people in and understand that like, yeah, you can have a beautiful aesthetic home and you can film your content that's so stunning, right? But then there's also moments of you just like any human when you talk to them, I'm having a bad day and this is not my... I don't want to have a bad day, but like I just woke up feeling out of it. And so find the words to communicate that to your audience and help them understand that like you are more than just a corner aesthetic frame.
Yeah,
right?
That is so true, because I feel like as creators, we have this certain thing that we want to live up to and want to keep, at least for me, this is my struggle. I always feel like I have to keep up to a certain standard of how my content is. And if that's not it, then I won't create. And I kind of set myself back because I'm not creating, I'm not being vulnerable, I'm not opening up to my audience and telling them, hey, listen, I'm actually going through something right now and I don't feel like posting, or I don't feel like creating a beautiful background for you today. Like I just want to be here in my, bedroom with no makeup on and just, this is me.
Yeah.
So I get that. And
I think that in those moments, like people say, like everything is content. As a content creator, that moment could be content for you.
Yes, and sometimes those are the most viral. Those are the ones that go viral, like the ones that are imperfect, the ones that don't necessarily make the most sense to you, but honestly, it'll make sense to somebody. Someone's gonna resonate with them, be like, "Oh shit!" Like, I mean, it could be something. So sometimes I'm really funny outside of the camera, like I'm really funny. But no one captures that. And like the other day I was out with my friend and we were out in Soho and we were looking at fur coats. And I was like, where is my sugar daddy? And she captured that. I would never post that myself. Like in real life, I would never be like record me. But she recorded and I was like, she was like, this is content, girl. And I was like, okay, send it to me. And then I posted it and I was like, oh my God. And people were like, that was so genuine. I loved it. And I was like,
that's when you were like with the pink fur coat,
with the pink fur coat and Soho, and I'm like, where is my mind you, I didn't have a sugar daddy. There was no one in sight. I was just making believe, like, where is he? So you can find me these coats. People loved that, and it was real. It was like a genuine moment. I wasn't really thinking about the cameras. My friend just was recording because she was just like, and then I said that, and I was like, okay.
It's because that's the humor you would have with your friends,
right?
Like
with
when
your
you're
friends,
like,
real chimosa, real,
And that's how I approach my content. It's very like you're in the room with me, like we're hanging out. Like how I would talk to my friends is very much so how I talk to my audience, you know?
Yeah. So I want to get into, I have a segment that I haven't done yet with anyone. I'm going to do it with you first.
Ooh, okay.
It's Tales After Dark. This is a segment where we get a little bit spicier.
Ooh, okay.
So get ready. Or maybe not.
Break me in, girl.
Yeah, I'm going to break you in, girl. Yes. So I wanted to do this segment because I've been sitting on this idea, Tales After Dark. I want to get a little spicy with my guests. And let's talk about sex, power, and control.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, let's do that.
Who really holds the power in modern dating? Money, sex, status, or emotional detachment? And how does culture, gender, and clout shift that balance? So we'll start with the first question.
Okay.
Who really holds the power in modern dating? Money, sex, or status?
Ooh.
Like, does the sex got to be good? Does he got to be financially stable? Or does he have to have a certain status? Because having status is different than, you know.
Money and,
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Status for me, out the window. I could care less about, like, where you stand in the world. Like, it doesn't affect me in any way, shape, or form. I will say, for me, I guess sex, because sexual connection, to me, it's also intimacy. So I would go with that over money too, because, like, I mean, anyone can at some point, you know what I mean? Like, you can, I mean, you can go from being a healthcare worker to a social media influencer and make whatever, or you can go from being, you know, an employee of some place to being a small business owner, right? So, like, that can change. For me, I think intimacy and, I guess in this point, like, sexual connection would be the most important.
Yeah, the sex got to be good, child.
Yeah.
Because if the sex is bad, but you got all the money in the world, I'm going to be unhappy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I might be in a mansion.
Sounds nice.
Yeah. But it's like, we can't even have sex in it. I'm going to be cheating.
Right.
I'm going to cheat. I don't want to cheat. So I need you to check all the boxes. I also feel like someone with money, like, if you're not generous, then what the hell is your money good for me? You're not giving it away.
Well, that's the other part that I think would affect me a lot too, is when you date someone that has money, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're generous.
Yeah.
Like, if you're doing things that make me feel uncomfortable about how you are, like, maybe not giving back in a way, I'd be like, oh, that'll turn me off.
Exactly. Yeah.
That'll turn me off.
Oh my God. I dated someone. I did a whole, like, first of all, okay, I'm
me.
telling you. I did a calendar in 2022. And the proceeds from the calendar were to be donated to this charity that I work with called KR3Ts. They're a nonprofit organization that caters to kids in the arts. And it was something I was it is something I'm very passionate about. I still work with them. But I was dating someone at the time that was a lawyer, like, you know, flaunting designer stuff, this and that. And I mean, every donation counts, but what he donated didn't equate to, like, the type of, I just felt like it wasn't enough. Like, not to be ungrateful, but, like, you know, I just feel like he didn't see the purpose. Like, it was a very small donation compared to, like, what I would expect someone. And I think the problem is that expectation, like, when you expect things from certain people, but
I feel like sometimes when someone flaunts, like,
if you're gonna flaunt like that,
you think, like, okay, then maybe their donation or their way of approaching giving back will be the same way, right? Like, and when it's not, you're like, oh, then, like, is this really true? If your shoes
cost more than $1,000, $2,000, can you please make a donation of the equivalent amount or more?
Right.
And because if you can't, you can't, right? But if you
you wouldn't be wearing $1,200 shoes.
Right.
Or flaunting them in a way like you could.
Or flaunting them in a way, yes, exactly. Yeah. So, T.
Yeah.
But I called my name, now I'm loud, the wind howled. You can't stay, but I walked right into the frame. Shake the dirt, make it your friend. Fell 7 times, rise up 10. Get back up again, get back up again. Shake the dirt, make it your friend. Fell 7 times, rise up 10. Get back up again.